put on some lights. I'm now live. Okay, hello everyone. Think nobody's here now, but I don't care though. So the theme is it was a requested video. Why Japan? Yeah, it's actually a question which so often asked by even Japanese people or also foreigners, why I choose Japan, why I choose Japanese, why I'm so into it. And I assume that most people have the pre-assumption of anime and manga. Let me first of all clarify that anime and manga is a part of, but it's not the most part which makes it. Also, I want to see you. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, it's not the most part which it makes in my affection to Japan. Not just anime and manga. Yes, I watched Naruto. Yes, I watched many types of anime because actually also of my cousin who has kind of influenced me with tons of anime. I watched this also when I was a small kid and then but even I watched anime, it wasn't really that big drive which makes me to really kind of learn Japanese and Japanese culture. Because you may, if you know me, I'm not a weeaboo. I'm not a weeaboo. I'm not these people who are just want to become Japanese and say that Japanese is just anime and manga. Yes, it's a part of, it's part of the pop culture, but it's not everything. And even when I have been in Japan, so many people, yes, but if you say talk about anime in Shibuya, you will get really bad sides like, oh man, how creepy are you, Dasai, and stuff like that, you know? You can see it on the eyes. You don't have to actually ask them. They don't say it, but you can see it on the facial expression that they're kind of scared from you because you like a creep from them when you too much into anime, like Weeaboo or Hikikomori are. And I never have been like really obsessed with anime, Hikikomori. I had like when I was real into Naruto, I watched it. Or when I really like an anime, I can watch it. Like, or it's all the same with drama. When I really like it, it's really engaging. I can watch it like in when when it's 12 episodes. I can watch like 6 a day. So within 2 days, I can watch everything. Really explosion of this was like during Death Note when it came out. A friend of mine has said, "Oh man, it's really cool anime. You have to watch it." And hey man, I haven't watched anime for years, but you have to watch it. And I was pretty obsessed with it. And I liked also the music of it because, especially the intros from Nightmare and the intro from Naza from Maximal the Harmon. Maybe you may now recognize that anime was a part of, but it was like small trigger which pulled off the interest to the music because I was all my time, all my life interested in music. And one of the triggers which actually brings me towards this Japanese culture was, of course, music. Back then, it was basically, yeah, basically, it was first of all, yeah, the first music I have heard, I think it was from Tokyo, the Sorafune. And then I was listening to Hamasaki Ayumi for a while. And then I switched to Visual K because I'm actually switched because a friend of mine, like in TeamSpeak, said, "Hey, do you know this? Do you know Gut? And do you know other?" He introduced me to everything, and oh man, Gut is singing with Hamasaki Ayumi. It's cool. And I said, just oh, cool. Let's try it out. And at first, for me, it was really kind of obnoxious. For me, it was Visual K. I had to really overcome so many stuff. Also, my fear because so many gothic stuff and so many, yeah, like thoughts about death and other things which you don't really think on your daily basis. And Visual K kind of brought me inside, but it still wasn't the trigger what brought me to learn the language. Not anime and not Visual K. What was it? It was Japanese drama. It was obviously Japanese drama. Especially the first drama I have seen is Hana Yori Dango. It's with Horita Maki and I think Matsumoto Jun is from Arashi. Is a really, really, really famous boy band in Japan. It's just a boy group, idol group, where just singing and make like dancing performances. And the thing is actually about Arashi, it's really big, not just in Japan, but also in Asian region. It's really popular in Asia, not just in Japan. And Arashi, I love it. I loved Hana Yori Dango. I was really passionate to watch it, and for me, it was really a pleasure to just watch it. And first of all, I didn't understand so many Japanese, but let me say so. I had okay. Actually, I learned already Japanese before I watched Hana Yori Dango, but actually, I yeah, I learned already Japanese. Yeah, one of the trigger was actually to learning Japanese. We had the Japanese guy, Toshi Suzuki Toshi, in our school, and he was another like in the other another classroom, and then we was in the same classroom. But it was pretty cool to be with him. He was a really cool guy, and he was also trying to speak in Japanese. And I know it sounds really ridiculous, and I was seeing that he was really struggle, and I had like this kind of bad idea that okay, let's try to be better in Japanese than he is, but his father is Japanese actually. So yeah, how can I do it? I was kind, and then I tried. I had my small book, which one day my parents says, I was, oh man, I have to learn Japanese. I have to learn Japanese. My parents said, somewhat okay. Let's buy you a book, and they bought me a book in German, which was pretty nice actually. And I was so passionate to just do it and try to kind of come up how to remember also hiragana. I make it more with pictures. And it was before I entered the class for Japanese. And then I entered the class and it was pretty slow. But when I got really this power boost to actually really accelerate with Japanese, was one thing was Hana Yori Dango when I watched it. Another thing was in conversation with a friend of my his father, and his father is actually an entrepreneur, and he said, Alex, you're so talented, you can do everything. And I said, no man, in school I'm so bad. I have really bad remarks in math. He said, math and school is not everything. You have just to do what you want to do. And then I said, okay, I want to do Japanese. I don't care about the school. It's not my thing. So, and then I just started. I jumped into Japanese, we and then I attended schools. course. And within Japanese, I had also some struggle, but it was until one human being has introduced me this book. Where is it? I love it. It was really a game changer for me. This book, learning kanjis. This is actually just this is learning how they're written. And there's a second book who shows you how you can actually read them. I have both of them, and there's another edition for hiragana and katakana, but I didn't use that book for hiragana and katakana, just for kanji. And with this boost, I did then, I tried to ask my teacher. She was actually Japanese. All the stuff I get from shows and stuff like that. And then I really started to just go all in. How I did go in, I watched. I had some pages where I learned. I asked my teacher which of the pages are good for learning. I actually searched in several forums how to learn best way Japanese. I had this book because this book was actually a game changer for me, especially concerning to kanji, because you have it really like a puzzle. You puzzle it together, and then you got all this thing with kanjis, and it was such a game changer. Really, you don't have to write it like 1,000 times. You can just remember the story, and you got it forever. Of course, you can actually remember it to try to remember the story. You can use other things, but I did this one. And then I had a big goal to achieve the 1 Petit N1. It's it's actually this goal to N1 is academic level. It makes you to be eligible studying at a Japanese university with other Japanese students. So I did it, and I just pushed forward. You can see really, like in the high end of the middle school, start of the high school, I listened just J-pop. It was more J-rock. I like more the J-rock and more Spatial K. And in the breaks, especially in the end of the high school, I had always in my mobile phone there, and there's the vocabulary of JLPT 1 and 2, and I just scroll through it through vocabulary and read all the vocabulary. This is this, 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 and I do it every day, all day. Another thing what I did, I started to read newspapers, and I think I started with Asahi Shimbun, with Asahi newspaper. It was a pretty easy one. And then I switched to Yomiuri. It was a little bigger articles and a little bit harder to read. And eventually I switched to Nikkei, Nihon Keizai Shimbun. It's a Japanese economic newspaper, economic letter, which is, it's hard. It's still hard to read because you have to know more than 2,000, way more than 2,000 kanjis to understand everything what there is. So I did it for a while. I'm still reading kind of the newspapers and stuff like that. And how I actually read the newspaper, I didn't read the whole article. I just read like 2 or 3 lines and tried to translate it in German. And I did it all time, every day, and really made them. It was, I think I had Apple, so I had a page document. It's a humongous document. Currently, I have like 500 4 letters, fulfilled with stuff I didn't remember so well. And it's just written in Japanese. Everything is just in Japanese. Yeah, so, and I try to make it really and write everything down. Everything done. And if I get there, yeah. And write everything down, and eventually after, like in the end of the day, not really in the end, but I kind of refresh all the lists and try to learn all the words one more time, and I did it over and over, repeat it over and over again, and the list grows and grows and grows and grows. And eventually, when I was like in level N2, I did N3 because I haven't done the other levels. I said, okay, just do the N3, and I did the N3. It was pretty easy, and then I want to jump over N2 and just go straight to N1, but it has taken me 4 tries. On the 4th try, I eventually succeeded. 1 try in Germany and 2 tries, the 3rd try in Japan. In Germany, it was also pretty hard to maintain it, and in Japan, it's also totally different atmosphere. And then I try to actually doing it. And in my free time, what I did after all the work, after all this learning, I learned every day, all day, really. I watch Japanese films, especially Japanese dramas. I think I watched all the, because it's a little bit skebe kokoro. Kind of, for me it was more important. I like the heroine, there's a woman who is the main character, and when I like her, then I watch her. And first it was like Horik Tamaki, and eventually I watched like all the movies about it, all the films, all the dramas where Horik Tamaki has participated. The same thing is with Kiritani Mire, Sasaki Nozomi, Arimori Kasumi, and I can tell you tons of Japanese actresses who I really like. Of course, Ishihara Satomi. She's married, but Kiritani Mire has just married with Miro Shohei. So Miro Shohei is also a pretty good actor. I like him. And also I liked really Arashi, because it was a really big impact on myself when I watched Hanayori Dango. And actually during this Hanayori Dango thing, I switched from visual kei more to the pop side, because I recognized it. Visual kei is not more so in Japan, so let's go to the North Road pops. Speaking of Arashi, it's the best starter with when you have like a Japanese girl there, and you say, hey, which because there are 5 members of Arashi. You have Matsumoto Jun, you have Masaki Aiba, Aiba Masaki, Inomiya Kazunari, Ono Satoshi, and of course Matsumoto Jun, Aiba Masaki, Ono Satoshi, Inomiya Kazunari. ちょっと待って。And I forget one. Wait. Aiba Masaki, Matsujun, Ono Satoshi. 二宮和也と、4番目。5番目は、ちょっと待って。Yeah, it's 5 members, yeah. What's the 5th member? Damn, I really haven't listened for, several. I haven't seen Japanese TV shows with music TV shows for a while. Just have to watch it. Arashi. We have 5 members. Yeah, of course. Shokun. Sakurai Sho. Yeah. How could I forget Sakurai Sho? He is the most smartest one. Yeah, because he has the best education of these 5. He is one. Because he's doing like narration and stuff like that in a TV show. Sakurai Sho, of course. Shokun. Yeah, and I started to watch so many because I recognized Arashi is kind of the key how to get to Japanese culture. And I start from Arashi. I have seen so many shows of Arashi, like VS Arashi, still running. I think it's still running. I haven't. I have to watch it. Arashi Nishiagare. I have also. I didn't watch it also for a while, for a big while, maybe more than maybe 1 year. Arashi Nishiagare, something like that. Yeah, Arashi Nishiagare, and they had like VS Arashi is like more a game show. Arashi Nishiagare is more like a talk show. Then they had like Himitsu no Arashi-chan. It's also like all the shows they went for stuff. And then they have like other shows. But the shows with Arashis were really, really amazing at really big scale. Because like Gact is also there. Where also sometimes there as a guest, and Arashi Nishiagare, and also in VS Arashi few times. And I've watched it more than 10 years, I think, yeah. The shows on daily basis and also everything. And I really bombed my brain full with Japanese. With Japanese dramas, with Japanese shows, and Japanese music. And of course, also Japanese newspaper. And I also, before I also read like a little bit mangas, but just for training, I read Conan. It was pretty harsh. Conan's pretty harsh. And then I read 1 or 2 novels from Gen. Who is it? Gen. Hoshino Gen. Hoshino Gen? Yeah, not Hoshino Gen. Hoshino Gen is not the singer, I think, really. Hoshino Gen. Maboroshi Yoru. It was this Genya Maboroshi. Dang it. Maboroshi. Yugata.そう。幻、これか。Yeah. Book. What is Yoru? I think it was Yoru. It wasn't Yugata, it was Yoru. Genya. Yeah. Genya. I think it was Genya. Yeah, it's Genya from Hoshino Keigo. Keigo, yeah. And I read it. It was kind of, it was interesting, but it was kind of also little bit pervert because there were some sex scenes in this book. Yeah, and I understood already this kanji is, which actually not taught in schools, like Midara and stuff like that. Yeah. These are not really Inyoku and stuff. Yeah. These kanjis are not. You can find them in novels, but really not in school because they're too pervert or too obnoxious, too obscure. And yeah, and then I watched it. I gather also shows, and how I actually enhance my Japanese skills is I watched simply quiz shows, Japanese quiz shows, and as I told about the list where I written down all my words and all the grammars I didn't understand and try to actually one more time, like repeat, because you have to be like on the strip on repeating constantly to be on it. I also wrote stuff down. If I have seen some expressions or some words, some vocabulary or some grammars I didn't understand, everywhere. It can be in my books. It can be somewhere like Yonjikugo or this 4 characters things, which you have in quiz shows or kanyoku, which you kanyoku. What is kanyoku in English? I'm so bad in English, really. Kanyoku. What was kanyoku? I even don't know the word. I have heard it several times. Kanyoku. I know it for sure in Japanese, but in English it's always idiomatic stuff. So yeah, and this idiomatic stuff I also really learned mostly from TV shows, apparently from quiz shows. I love quiz shows, especially Q-sama. But yeah, Q-sama, it was pretty harsh. Q-sama you can learn the most of, and the show is like 2 hours, but if you really write everything down, it takes you like 4 hours to watch it because you have to pause, write down. Maybe if you don't get it, go again to another side, because afterwards they actually say what it means. When it don't say what it means, then you can actually go to the internet and ask Uncle Google or Aunt Google. I think it's Uncle Google, and yeah, there you can actually research it. And I did it so often. One of my best friends is this Wadoku page. It's so amazing. It's so much expression. It's German and Japanese. And yeah, because back then my English wasn't that good. However, the most things I had to learn, I learned it from English to Japanese, or just learn Japanese expression. And most English words I have learned are not from school. I learned from learning Japanese. It's so ridiculous because Japanese had so many vocabulary which is taken from English, the so-called garaigo. It's so good. And yeah, and when I was more into the culture, I also like Japanese food. It's so amazing, so good. And also that like the Japanese kind of gesture. But okay, the gesture I more adapt actually not here, but more in Japan. Like this one is like, no, I don't like to, or no, it's not this, or can you let me through, or please, can you do it? And you know, the reason I'm European here also here in Europe, I also try to. It's not try, but it's more like unconscious, really subconscious. It's kind of what I say. Something is like this my autopilot thing. When I see someone, I really kind of too humble and really go with and stuff like that. I'm because I used to it back in Japan and I watch it every day, all day on TV, because I don't watch German TV nor English TV for more than 10 years for sure. And but Japanese dramas, Japanese, especially also comedy. I also really like comedy, but comedy has also taken me a lot to understand it, because if you understand a comedy, you can actually understand kind of the tamashi, the soul of the language. And Japanese comedy can be obnoxious, can be ridiculous, it can be tremendously ridiculous. They have so weird ideas. On the other hand, on one hand, they're so humble, they're so really, they treat you like a god and stuff like that. It's really so good, so specific, and they're so good in working and so dedicated. But on the other side, it's really this stuff you have there. And yeah, in a high school, I must admit, I want to be vulnerable. I must admit, I want just to do the high school in order to get like a qualification to come to get to a decent university in Japan. So and then I searched like for opportunities on the internet how I can go to Japan, because I thought, yeah, after my high school, I don't want to be here anymore. Really, give me a break, Germany. Please give me a break. Really, I'm like mentally and fully more like now in Japan than here, and I'm more aligned with the Japanese cultures and German culture, because yeah, so many things are just at that time pissed me off really in Japanese and German culture. There's so many things that is just ridiculous for me. It was really, and when I had this opportunity from the school, okay, my parents had to make a loan on the bank and they take money and I think 10K, something like that. And I say, okay, my father say, okay, it was really hard. Okay, you can go to Japan. It was actually bliss for me to go to Japan. And when I finally arrived there, the first half year, it was for me, I was really, okay, let me say so. Before I went to Japan, 1 year before, I had a trip to Tokyo and just went sightseeing. Just watched all the sights, all the stuff around. And I had actually also back then a friend there, which whom I contacted on Skype and other stuff, and he also met me, and it was pretty nice. I just watched sightseeing, and then yeah, it was sightseeing. Yeah, I remember it was sightseeing, and I met him one day. We went actually to what was it? Yeah, he spent me some money. Yeah, he spent for me some money. It was Akihabara, I think. Yeah, it was in Akihabara. It was 2000 and whoa, 13, because from 14 till 17 I have been in Japan. Um, and 14 it was 13. Yeah, I went there and we went. I was just in this Akihabara area, but I really made the trips all around Tokyo. Went to the Tokyo Sky Tree, and it was amazing. And I come back and say, okay, when I get the opportunity next year, when I got the invitation from this language school, it's called ISR Language School, a really nice language school. It's more expensive than usual language schools, but you get really the value from it. Maybe not so much value than others, but let me say, so there's so many pupils, you can interact with so many pupils there. You get also so many connections there. So it's really nice. And as I was kind of, yeah, I tried to be an extrovert in Germany, but I was more conditioning to be an introvert. But actually, my own nature is to be an extrovert. But most people really said using weirdo, so I was more in like conditioned introvert. It sounds awkward, but it is so. And really, when I came to Japan, yeah, how I came to Japan actually, my parents had a loan, and after the college, I had the choice to, because I failed my college exams, not college exams, my high school exams, my final exams, I failed them, and without the final exams, you can't go up to college in Germany. So I said, okay, I don't care, really, no props, I just go for it. And say, when I have the opportunity to go to Japan, man, in Tokyo, I really love this place, and I want to go there and just live there really forever. Really, bye bye forever, Germany. I don't care about you anymore. It was actually my kind of passion, and I want to really. And I had also this in mind to go to straight to Waseda, and yeah, it was what actually caused me my being in Japan was my ignorance, for sure my ignorance. I haven't, and my laziness, my ignorance will cause me. I had to really be more pushy, go to say, okay, what's it up? What you for courses have? I have this. What can you offer me? Or to another university, just go there and ask them questions, and say how I can apply, what I have to do, and I could actually apply also with my degree. It's not a middle school degree. It's really hard to explain. It's like vocation. It's like vocational high school degree, which is like above the. It's beneath the normal high school degree, and it's more like economic stuff. And like in a certain grade, it was for me really. I really don't care about school anymore. For me, was only learning Japanese, and it really kind of pissed off so many teachers of me. They were saying, "Oh, Alex, yeah, I know you're learning, but you're still learning Japanese and not economics or other things." Yeah, because it's so dry for me. It was so dry just interacting with these digits, and I was just interested actually in just knowing the process, how the process is about, how you can, how the processes work, how you can operate it. That was really interesting for me. Once I know the process, and then the theory, how you actually do this other things with tests. And I'm pretty allergic to tests, but I'm pretty, like in the school, I was always a guy who will here, really all about interaction, and try to really step out of the introvert, go more for the extrovert nature. But in breaks, I was like really alone in my own corner, and just I wasn't really care about other people. Sometimes I wasn't really the leader there. I was just someone who is just walking with someone, or just purely be alone and do my own stuff. And I was pretty okay with it. I wasn't that afraid of it, actually. I was kind of used to it because I was conditioned from my, not from my kindergarten, but I think from the first school I was pretty conditioned. And yeah, I went to Japan, and in Japan, really, first half year, dude, there were so cute girls from Korea, and I was so fixed, like, oh man, I have just to have a Japanese girlfriend, nothing else. And they were so cute and say, oh man, Alex, you're so cool. And so, cool? Because really, back in back in Germany, when somewhere a girl says to me cool, I know automatically she makes fun of me. Because I wasn't the best guy in sports. I mean, I did my skateboarding and I did my acrobatic things, and Germany is all about soccer. If you can't play soccer, you a sucker. Yeah, just a small joke. Yeah. So yeah, and I played soccer, but I couldn't run forever. I could run just really for 500 meters straight, but I give my best, and I was pretty fast though. But afterwards, I'm just lying somewhere on the ground and just I don't have any breath. I don't have any breath anymore. And for me, it was obviously this thing when someone and really these girls on the in this class, they see it really genuinely. That Alex, you're so cool. And why? And then I recognized that this kind of Asian culture, especially in the Asian country, when you come there as a foreigner, especially from Germany, somewhere from Europe or the US or maybe Canada, English-speaking country, Australia, New Zealand. Yeah, the girls actually are pretty affected about you. They say, "Oh man, you're cool because you're white. You have the criteria of the Turk, like blonde, blue eyes. This is what we don't have here." And so they're kind of affected to you. And I didn't know that back then. I mean, I seen tons of shows and stuff like that, but it wasn't told in shows. There was this thing what wasn't told in shows, how actually the culture is and how to speak with people, to interact with people. And for me, it was pretty intense to have someone who's generally said, dude, you're cool. I said, really? Because, back in high school and back in the past, everyone says, oh man, you're cool. But then I said, really? And I said, do you really say I'm cool? So they try to kind of make a fun with me, try to tease you and stuff like that. They're not really genuinely, but these two girls were really genuine to me and was, oh, yeah. And I remember the partners I have on my desk. I mean, like back then, I was just sitting alone somewhere in the front. Yeah, mostly in the front because I had really bad eyes. And so people who are bullying, teasing me, just throwing the paper bowls at me when the teacher don't looking, and they say, and when the teacher says, "Oh man, so many here, you have to pick it up," and I say, "What I should pick it up? I haven't did some math. Why I should pick it up?" I was kind of controversial young kid, and I was also fighting a lot back in middle school, and I was really kind of easy to bring me on the palm to really to say, okay, now, man, you are dead, really, and just beat him up like nothing. Even I lost, I just continued to, yeah, it was more as a mechanism rather than being conscious about it. But in the years, I have like buttoned up and went more to the, yeah, more the more the introvert-ish. And actually in Japan, really, it was so genuine. And the first week, everything was so, I see Japan like really in this, I mean, I was in Tokyo. It was a country where I just want to live all day, every day, all time. And in my life, and when I see the skyscrapers, when I see these people and how friendly they are and everything else, I was just, oh man, this is really cool. This is what I want. I felt myself like a fish in water, like an ocean, where I really belong to. Nevertheless, as the time passed by, I have noticed really many controversial things in my part-time job, in other things, and I tried to be in Japan, but you know, if you see everything every damn day, if you see this big light screens, if you see these big skyscrapers, these big masses of people, like I lived in Shinjuku, close to the red light district, and also a little bit further there's district, the gay district, Shinjuku Sancho, Nichome, Nichome, and I was also, I went all the time through the red light district, the Kabukicho, and see all the yakuzas and stuff like that, and you just get used to it, and first when you come to Japan, you see all the small things, and you have the appreciation. You learn the appreciation for the small things. But as the time passed by, you really you're used to it. Every people just you just walk through. The same thing also with jaywalking in Japan. In Tokyo, so many people jaywalk, really. And first of all, I was more like, okay, I have to stand there. But even in big crossings, big intersections, people are just jaywalking. I said, okay, let's do it. And then I jaywalk too. And it was for me really blessed. But I realized when the time goes by every day, especially when I realized I cannot enroll this in university I really wanted to enroll. Everything has become like more, I have kind of personality. If I don't get this thing, I don't want anything. So my subconscious mind was kind of switching to the self-destruction mode. And I realized it because I have to do this thing, and I was really like lazy. And also I went to my university where I have Chinese, and I went to the set, and my mind switched to the self-destruction mode as I recognized that as more I learn Chinese, as worse become my Japanese. And I was really like, oh my goodness, and this is really harsh. This is really harsh. I don't want to have it. I don't want to have that my Chinese becomes worse than my Japanese. My Japanese becomes worse because I learned Chinese. And what was also my one really long-term goal, but I haven't accomplished it yet, is, and I bought it when I come back to Germany, because now I'm in Germany, I bought this book. Jajan! Koji. It's a dictionary. It's a dictionary. It's a dictionary with the newest words, and it's really updated every year, all year. And if you know this one, I have just really this kind of insane dream to know Japanese better than a Japanese person ever. I know it sounds ridiculous and just really kidding, like, but I had like this thing. I have to know Japanese better than everyone else. But let me say one. Even you know this book, you don't know Japanese. Because especially Japanese is so harsh, really. Like every year they have new words. Like last year it was like maji manji and stuff like that, and ngo, and such words. And before it was like wanchan and jeshije, but it's more like the dialect of Niigata and other stuff. So you have really words which are common for maybe 1 year and then they're out. You can use them, but you don't oblige to use them. It's more like because the whole pop culture is made by Japanese high school girls. Yes, the culture is made by high school girls. It means when there's somewhere something trendy, when something came out, if the high school girls say, "Hey man, it's really cool," they say "kawaii," and that's kawaii, and then kawaii, and yeah, it just makes a breakthrough. Like I think last year or something like that, there were like this koida. Yeah, and I was in Japan. I think the year before, yes, last year it was this koi dance. This yeah, and other stuff, and this I don't remember actually this movement, but everyone used to dance it. Even people in mayor and town halls used to dance with this dance. Yeah, it was ridiculous. Or what we also have like and stuff like that. And it's also the same thing as with the culture as this 1 year culture. It applies to. It can also be to music. Yeah, music apparently also to music. Yeah, it can apply to music. It can apply to anime. It can apply to films. It can apply to even shows, but shows is a little bit sketchy. I think shows are more than 1 year ish. Usually, it can apply to food. New food restaurants. If there are people who are just really standing there in the queue for 3 hours straight to have freaking ramen, the soup, or I don't know, or popcorns. I mean, you have I think in Montesando there's a really not so big shop where they sell like really. It's like a special popcorn. There's like 3 or 4 kinds in one package, and you can have it for I think 5,000 yen, $50. Oh my goodness! Yeah, something like that. It was pretty ridiculous, especially the price, and people just stand it for 3 hours straight to get it. I think it's more. I think the heaviest thing is always with Apple. Like Apple in Shibuya is a big store where I get this computer where I'm now tuning now from. Okay, I have just kind of bust my ankle against the chair. It hurts. But I really enjoyed it. It was really for me the best. And when I come back to Germany, for me it was like, okay, let's get just a really quick. I need something to actually shikaku. I need a qualification for something to actually work in Japan with a better visa. And when I get the qualification, I just go back, and I really want to go back ASAP. I had it like 1 year before this, and I had when I come back to Germany, it was for me really like, hello darkness, my old friend. Really, it's a nightmare. It occurred, and how actually this nightmare happened to me. I enjoyed Japan. Tokyo was everything for me. I was really, and I was also going everywhere. Let's be honest. I could really not handle so good my budget. I had a pretty good budget, but how money I spent, it was just ridiculous. But I spent it because I was in a group with other students, and Japanese students, especially Tokyo students, had a bunch of money because they're pretty rich parents, most of them, and when they do also jobbing, part-time job somewhere, Louis Vuitton, something like that, they have their 1-2K months for sure. I think even more. And when I do it really consciously, they have this money for having fun. And I was also trying to have fun. And when I realized I don't have the money to pay the tuition fee, yeah, let me say how it actually was. What was my biggest failure I did? My biggest fail was I have chosen the wrong university. Yeah, I have seen that my mother, my parents, and my uncles and other have spent a lot of money in myself to really be in Tokyo, and I really appreciate it. I showed the appreciation, but the thing was, the rent was like I had like maybe 5 square meters for $600 straight. It's like New York prices, maybe a little bit down, but close to the New York prices, to Manhattan prices in Tokyo, especially in Shinjuku where I live. And I kind of refused to go to another place because I have seen that other places are not so good and are not so convenient. My place wasn't the best one. Let's get it clear. It wasn't really the worst one. I had really so thin walls, and if you have claustrophobia, don't go there because it was so small, and I kind of managed to have all my stuff there. And I was really spending too much money. I have really underestimated this power of yeah of the people who are really try to go for a drink, go for this, go for that. If you do it every damn week, your money just grows and yeah, not debts, but you're spending money more and more and more. And then you want to go for a trip, and then you go over there. And I want really to interact in the fullest because I want to live Tokyo life the fullest. And there was kind of inviting these people, these other students who can really afford it, a tuition fee, and really be in good universities and go for the clubs and really enjoy the student life. I'm still regretted, to be honest, that I'm not now in a university in Tokyo, like Waseda or Keio or even Toyo, where where I could really apply like this because you need just a JavaPT and 3 and a half and 1. But yeah, and how was it happen? I mean, I have seen I have really made money, spent too much money, so I, I had really this choice to go in a good university and continue this special course where I was. It wasn't, but it was pretty harsher than the course before because I had homeworks every day, all day. We have to teach, we have to learn it every day, all day. It was pretty harsh, but I was used to it. The hustle, like and to like sleep 4 hours a day. I was really used to it, and I was pretty happy. And then when I realized, okay, yeah, maybe I can't not really reach another university with my degree because it's kind of sketchy if you see that on the pages and stuff like that. And I saw that means this one floskel means that I have to have this big degree. But it wasn't it. I don't have to have really like this degree to be on a decent university in Tokyo. You just need to pass a test, have some have some other tests. Maybe if you go for foreign stuff, you have like TOEIC and stuff like that. Okay, and I just have chosen this university because it was cheaper than another university, but it was cheap. It was literally cheaper because how it was told to us. It was not bad in the beginning, and then it was really monotone and really just learn this whole paragraph, learn this whole story, and we was just learning stories every day, all day in Chinese. And for me, it was kind of frustrating. But actually, in this university, I have um, had the opportunity to have the acquaintance with some friends of mine, which are with whom I still have the contact, and it's really nice to have them. And I really appreciate to have them. Yeah, and then when I went to the third semester, I think to the third one, yeah, it was the third one. After the third one, they said, okay, so many people have said that this school is not so good and just went from the school. We have to bring up the tuition fee from 10,000 to 15,000 a year. And the thing was, I was just paid my tuition fee of 5,000 because I had to split it like 1 or 2 months ago. And they said, okay, Alex, when you want to be the school, you have to pay now the tuition fee of $5,000. And I don't have had it at this time, 50,000 yen. Don't have it. 500,000 yen, 500,000 yen. I didn't have it, yeah. This 500,000 yen. And he said, okay, then you have just one choice to go away from school. And the thing is, in Japan, when you go away from school, you're not eligible anymore to make a part-time job. This one thing, so you cannot afford nothing. And don't get me wrong, I went to a lawyer. I was asking them what kind of visas I can apply, stuff like that. It was I can do nothing. Okay, I was reaching out to friends of friend who is like a high status in Yokohama. He is for foreign businesses. They are saying May or something like that. In Tahoe, for foreign business, something like that. In Yokohama, he is working, and I had also really good relationship with him. I still kind of relationship, and he said to me, "Yeah, I can recommend you a friend of mine." And I went. I had this point with a friend of him, and or the person said, "Okay, we will go to another school and try to enroll you there, and then we try you then to enroll to a decent university." And the thing was, I had to enroll to this school. I need to again 5,000, 5,000 straight. And another thing was, my father wasn't and my parents wasn't willing me to pay this 5,000 anymore. I mean, if I had this 5,000, I would go straight to the school, apply for university, and just go to another university. I would just do it straight, without any hesitation. But as I don't have it, he said, yeah, maybe you can apply straight from Germany, apply to university, maybe it will be possible, but the thing is again the tuition fee. The tuition fee of around 10,000 a year is really harsh for us here to maintain it in Germany. Even I had 1, 2 part-time jobs in Japan. It's pretty harsh to maintain. So my father says, okay, now in Germany it's really easy. You can apply for every kind of apprenticeship. It's really easy. You can just go for banker. You can go for a wholesaler, other stuff. Because we need an apprenticeship in Germany to have something. You don't need apprenticeship nowhere in the whole damn world, but just in Germany to have something that makes you an available person to which adds value to your own possibilities, capabilities. Yeah, if you don't have it, you're nothing. You know? And they said, yeah, you have to do it. Freaking God, it just it's for free 10 years. And I said, no, no apprenticeship, give me a break, my father. And then said, no, we have also a school, maybe you can apply there. Then I checked the school out and it said like, yeah, you need like you need like what I need. You need like an internship for 6 months in a bigger company, something like that, to do it. And I was I was in Japan. I didn't did math. I didn't did economics. Nothing. I was just really into Japanese, and also I had this other book which I had, and I want to actually learn law, Japanese law, especially to provide value for foreigners who came to Japan. So I wanted to learn Japanese law, especially it was pretty easy to. Yeah, it's pretty hard. Don't get me wrong; it's pretty hard to learn Japanese law, but it's a basis of Japanese law, especially on the prime law, the first law, right? Um, is actually in Germany. They copied it from Germany and applied it to their own rules. But the basis lying in German law. So I have seen this parallels and say, okay, maybe I can do it. Yeah, I can just go for law, Japanese law, and have and provide. But before I had this law thing in my head, I had just become a freaking entrepreneur, make Japan big again, make Japan great again, make a really big damn company. Because maybe the Japanese economics is not so rosy. They're like 20. All the other countries like America and Europe is 20 years ahead of Japanese economy. It's stuck in the 80s, or now we're 2018, so now in the 90s, yeah, in the and 90s, it's still stuck there. And I had really this kind of thought, and I was also talking with some students there that he said, yeah, it's really nice, man. If you get the company, you can just get me. I will work there. Because I had like this kind of really nice thought to really make it not so hard to work like Japanese people used to work in Japan, make it more easier, make it more human, and we can really focus on ergonomics and also this stuff. Really try to focus on the brand rather than commercial. And this was actually my thing I wanted to do. And then I was swapped it to law because I was saying, okay, man, I want to become freak entrepreneur, but like my math back in my high school, I had really four. It's like an A, B, C. It's like a C, something like C, C-ish, and with a C in math or even an F, C, 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 D, E. E maybe E, yeah, E math. You can do nothing really, yeah, especially also here in Germany. So this is my current situation. I'm here in Germany and I'm trying to establish a company, but because nobody is taking me in apprenticeship, which I actually don't want to do because my biggest goal is just go back to Japan till 2020. This is my biggest goal, and I want to really to achieve it. I don't care what the other people said. I don't care what the German law said. I really don't care what the others said. I have my goal before my eyes, and what I what is actually my yeah. Before I was in this project, and I tried to go with, okay, maybe you go to more international company and you say you work in Japan. And the one thing I haven't liked to this company, when I said, do you want to go to Japan? I say yes. Because I hate to lie to people, you know? I want to be honest. I want to be honest. And when they don't like me to be there, when I live there back to Japan, then I don't care if you don't care. If you don't want me, I'm really sure. And I have applied to tons of companies, just rejections, 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 rejections. It's not like, why not that with my offer now? Because I have actually my own thing I want to do. こんにちは。ご挨拶ありがとうございます。今日はちょっと英語で話したんですけれども、そうですね、どうして日本かというと、ちょっと言いましたんですが、もう日本が好きってたまらないというの気持ちは、もうマジで、結構、毎日この気持ちで、あの、起きてるんで、もう今はドイツに戻ったんですが、もうそのドイツでなんか修行が必要で、その修行で日本に戻ったらもう幸いんですが、どっちかというと今はなんかね、結構その修行をもらうためには、もう、俺なら数学はあんまり良くないから、もう前に、良くないというか、もう高校生の時代なんですけれども、その、終末試験を失敗したから、okay, you don't understand it. Okay, sorry. Okay, sorry. Because I have just written konnichiwa and then I just swapped to Japanese. I really sorry. So yeah, no problem, no problem. Thanks for tuning in, and yeah, now I am here and try to actually establish something. And really, 2020, go back to Japan. I want to see this Olympics. I want to see this feeling. I want to contribute to Japan. So why Japan? I have told this actually about in the beginning of the video, but I can say it just one more time. It starts with I have been. I think in the middle school we had a guy from Japan, and he was talking about so really cool Japan and stuff like that. Bought all the fancy stuff, and I had really this kind of, I don't know. For me, it was really this thing because back then animes were pretty in, but it wasn't my actual trigger. Don't get me wrong, animes wasn't my trigger to learn Japan, to go really deep into the Japanese stuff. I was watching the animes as everyone in my animes as everyone at my age back then. I was doing the same stuff. But when I actually interact with a real Japanese person and I've seen, oh man, this is really just how the animes are and stuff like that, it gets me towards this sort like, and okay, this guy is Japanese and he can't talk Japanese, and I was kind of I had kind of this idea to, okay, let's be better in Japanese than he is. Yeah, it was pretty weird stuff. And I said, okay, let's become better in Japanese this guy is. And then I bought the book. A book actually, I told my father, can you please buy me a book to learn Japanese for a really easy one. And I was so passionate about writing down and everything. And I did the book within, I think, 1-2 days. And I learned really in 1-2 days hiragana, katakana, something like that. And then I said, okay, maybe we should apply to Japanese course. Yeah, cool, Japanese course. I will willing to attend it and attend to Japanese course besides school. And I have seen, oh man, how so many people are passionate about it, stuff like that. And I was just doing it really kind of more. It was fun, don't get me wrong. Japanese girls are pretty, man. They're so cute, man. Especially when we go to Japan. Oh, really, really, really. Japanese girls is mind blowing, really. It's just really not a planet. If I watch this girls here in Germany, yeah, someone looks not bad, but it's not that kind of girl that I really want to have a relationship with. You know what I mean? But it wasn't. But back then, it wasn't really like I want to have the Japanese girl or something like that. No, it was more. I was really into this. I love the Japanese language. I love the Japanese language, yeah, because it was so cool. You could interact at these different levels, which you don't have actually at normal at other languages. You don't have in English that you can interact in such different levels, nor in German. No. Yeah, you can try it, man. I wish you luck. Yeah, depends on your wishes. Go to Shibuya. Go to Shibuya, or if you want to have like higher status, go to Roppongi. If you are speaking of Tokyo, right? And yeah, and I was there at the course, but I was more like do it passively because I have seen that the tempo was really slowed down. And then I tried to, yeah, back then I also tried to find out about stuff about Japan, read about Japan, and see about the history, read about the history, samurais, Sengoku Jidai, and also the Heian Jidai, actually, this where the kabuki and stuff like that were created. Okay, all the Japanese art are created. It's a beautiful side of Japan were created like 400 years ago. And yeah, and I was so fascinated. It was so beautiful. It was so kind of. It wasn't like like here in Germany, like really so gray. It was more like really so colorful and so, you know, I have felt more like this abundance to it rather than the German or Russian more this European culture. Because back then before I was doing my Japanese stuff, I traveled a lot to European countries, to France, to Spain, Italy, and stuff like that. And I kind of see the similarity to all these countries. They have kind of differences, but they have a lot of similarity within, especially European countries. And Japan was so damn different. And back then, yeah, I tried to really go for Japan and find something else. and then when I said like, okay, animes, some people look animes, and I say, okay, it's so, and you know, okay, back then it wasn't like this weird, this weeboo stuff, or this hikikomori stuff. It wasn't that official, but we had more things like, I think Visual K was pretty famous back then. Yeah, and I was into Visual K actually, yeah. But it was introduced by another guy. Yeah, Visual K was introduced by another guy. And then I see, okay, Visual K is okay, but it's not really this pop culture what it's made Japan of Japan. And then I have seen this first drama, Hana Yori Tango. It's the first drama I have seen with Oguri Shun, Matsumoto Jun, with was now I think yeah, of course Horita Maki. And I was so fascinated how cool this drama is and how they're. I wasn't even know that it's actually manga, which was just become drama, and it was. I was really kind of enclosed in this world, and I felt myself in this drama more better than in Visual K or in other stuff. Back then, I find out that Arashi is actually the key point. So, Fire Woo Boy, if you want to really interact with Japanese girls, the one question is really go to. It applies nearly to every girl. You ask just if you know the. By the way, find something about the group Arashi. Arashi. It's thunderstorm, something like that, if you're honest. And you can ask her, which member of Arashi is your type? And so many girls are just whoa, or say, I know I don't like Arashi, but I like Heisei Jump, or I like, or I like what was it? Kiss My Foot Too, or something like the whole Johnny's Entertainment brand niche, because so many girls are into it, literally really into it. Johnny's is just. So from the 80s, where the Kinky Kids and stuff like that came, and all this old Johnny's group is actually boy idol group. And from then, I actually have seen this pop culture and stuff like that, and I was really pushed forward. I want to know what they said. I want to know everything, and another thing was. The second thing was I was interacting one day with with the father of a friend of mine, and he's an entrepreneur, and he says, "Yeah, maybe you don't know good in school it now because you're more about Japanese and stuff like that, the Japanese culture. But once you just don't go for your wish, when you don't just go for you want to have." And I did it actually, and then I pushed really forward. I was really just tried to, okay, I do school, but I just attended, and I don't care about the tests, nothing. I just was really focused on Japanese every day, all day. I did it for years. I even prayed in Japanese every day to God to come to Tokyo and marry really nice Japanese girl who looks like Kiritani Mirei or stuff like that, but she's already married currently. Yeah, she married just I think a few weeks ago. But yeah, and another actress, because I was really obsessed with Japanese actresses. So nice, so cute, and it's so different. It's so more feminine than the other girls which I see here on the streets in Germany. Because okay, you see some feminine girls, but these feminine girls, if you talk to them, they just, you know, the looking and the behavior, it's so damn different. And Japanese girls, really, it's one of the triggers for sure for me. This feminine side of Japan, it's just, oh my goodness. And yeah, for me it was really nice. Also text with so many girls. And yeah, I just want to work it up one more time really fast. Now I'm here in Germany. I try to establish my company. I try to go ASAP back to Japan. If you have some, if you want to see more Japanese videos or something like that, just comment down below. Um, if you can offer me some opportunities to go back to Japan, I will be really willing to, because in Japan I can make better content every day, all day. I know so many people. I attended two uh, groups. One is IFP, International Friendship Party. I was one of the organizers. We organized literally every week for 100 people. For 100 people every week. Sometimes also for 300, 500, even 1,000 people on the big Hanami. Or it was really large scaled. And I was also not a member, but I kind of attended it because it's a good place to get some girls or to get some girl contact. I went to Canon's Ilan. It's also in Shinjuku, the boss in Shinjuku, the one thing. It was before in like really close to the Nichome, to the gay district. And now it's more where I lived. It's Shinokubo. This is the Oppa Gangnam Style. The Korean. Uh, I wanna dance, 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 dance. Just favorite. Yeah, it's a Korean district. And yeah, back then I was also pretty controversial about Korean and stuff like that. Now I'm pretty fine also with Korean. And maybe after Japanese it will be my next goal, maybe to learn Korean. It's pretty nice Korean, yeah. 안녕하세요, 감사합니다, and so on. uh, but it's pretty large words, which are pretty nice to Japan. Dude, sayonara is the wrong word. It's like it's a word. It's really the wrong word. Sayonara. You never say to someone sayonara. You can say it, but it's more like farewell. Just to keep in mind, sayonara means farewell. We say jamata, matane, or like mata ashita when tomorrow, or but sayonara is kind of controversial. You can say it to your. It can be formal, but if you say to friends sayonara, it means really we're saying farewell. Okay, you can say in other stuff, but okay, it's really samurai-ish if you say saraba, saraba, saraba. But this is really farewell. Saraba is really farewell. But it's more like the cool samurai art, like saraba. It's a little bit more sayonara. But sayonara, yeah, you can say to, like, small pupils in Japan, like the primary school pupils, they used to say to their sensei, "Sensei, sayonara, matashita," and the sensei, matashita ne, and they say, "Yeah, till tomorrow." And it's okay, yeah. But sayonara is, yeah, it's really formal. And where you say really mata kondo, after the next time, mata kondo, till the next time. But I would say something when I'm sleepy, you can say oyasumi. It means I'm going to sleep. Have a good night, oyasumi. Or more formal, oyasumi nasai. Yeah, it's different. Japanese has really many words you can use in different situations, which you have actually to remember, because some words, when you say it, um, it just sounds awkward if you say it to a friend where it's like, "Omeshi narimasu ka?" Do you want to eat it? Um, it's so humble, and you don't use it to Japanese. You can say it if you like joking around, if you really just making fun and stuff like that. You can make it, like bring it, but you can't just do it with a really close friend. And yeah, back to Germany. In Germany, in Japan, yeah, I am actually what I mean. So as a party, where I have contacts, you have really literally every week you can meet 300 different people, and if you cumulate it, I met for several years every day, not every day, every week, 400 new people. 400 new people, just imagine it. It's pretty hard to communicate with each other, but it was damn fun. And I was also a little bit in the entertainment industry. I was kind of scouted. I was like third time in a TV show appeared. This was pretty nice. And when I came, like really get back to Germany, for me it was like, there's a hustle every day, all day. Just imagine, for years I did like 4 hours sleep, but I was more happy than right now because I felt this kind of abundance. Even I was really tired, I felt I was really fulfilled. But it was not that fulfilled because the more I was in this kind of really rich situation, this really rich, yeah, rich, rich. When I interact more with these rich students, the more I had, I also tend to go to karaoke and other stuff and karaoke and other stuff, and it costs you like $50 or something like that just for a damn night. When you do it like every week $50, it hurts. And accumulate, and then you have to accumulate how I have to also pay my rent. It's like $600, and also my um, mobile phone fee is also like $80, and you don't earn so much for a part-time job, for sure. That's also the reason back in Japan, so many people have not had not one part-time jobs, but two or three, and you just obliged to do one part-time job like 82 hours a week. If you do more and being caught by the police can just say, okay, never see you again here in Japan. And it's really sketchy to do such stuff like 2, 3 part-time jobs for foreign students. Is pretty harsh. You can apply for another visa, like just like working holiday, like for 1 year is also possible. But working holiday, you just go for a part-time job and then you can do something else. Uh, it's just only 1 year, so it's also pretty harsh though. So yeah, I'm in Germany. In Germany, it was just for me really shock, culture shock. when I come back from Japan, from all these things, because how you have to interact on. I was like in the register, and I know how you have to pay, like put staple every point above and just put it really like this, and gives a bill with two hands with that's that's a head is watching towards the customer, and the same as you count the bills. If you show it how to count, how to hold it to count, and how to show to the customer, and how many times you have to bow, uh, in which degree you have to bow. Yeah, like 15 degree, what was it? 10, 15 degrees, 30 degrees, 40, something like that. And 20, 35, and 30, I think, something like that, yeah. And there's so many rules actually also in Japan which you have to apply. And today I want to say I'm really grateful that I was there, but I'm not grateful that I'm here. I'm grateful that I can actually finance myself now without having a job. Um, I'm really grateful that I can do it right now. And I'm really grateful for my parents. I'm grateful for I'm still living here. I'm living, I can eat, I have a roof above my head. But I'm not grateful that I'm here and not in Japan, because I know Japan is just really is really this, let me say so. My body is here, but my mind is still there. I cannot just let it go. How many said, yeah, you have really these anchors, and it's really hard for me to overcome this anchor. I'm being honest. I'm really vulnerable. To overcome the anchor, to let go Japan. Because I hate to I hate actually this to have this thought in my head that I have to live here in Germany to the rest of my life. And for me it was being in Japan just a blast to interact Japanese, just speaking Japanese every day. Can you understand it? You feel just fulfilled yourself because you're speaking a certain language. It was a really deep connection, and it's still a deep connection to me. It's more really the soul connection. It's more this country of my soul rather than the country of my physical country we are right now. And of course, I felt bliss. Of course, these two parts of physical and soul are united. And it can just unite for myself, and I know it when I go back there. And for longer than 3 years, for sure. And eventually change my um, kokuseki, my belonging to the country. And my citizenship. Yeah, for me it will be really nice thing. Just change my citizenship to Japanese. I know so many of you will say, "Oh man, German citizenship is one of the best citizenship in the world," because yeah, you can live here without working. This possible, yeah. You don't live the best life, but you can live. You can eat, you have a roof, and you get money. You have, and you have just, what you can do is just lie over the place. It's the most people are doing here. But because of this kind of, yeah, really, I can't see this passion in the eyes of the people when I'm interact to them. I can just see the passion in their eyes when I talk about Pokemon Go. Okay, yeah, cool. You can catch the Pokemon, you can catch that Pokemon, and then you get the hype. And then this is actually why I sit still so intrigued in Germany, because it's maybe one of the things the people are kind of fulfilled with Pokemon Go, just to going out and interact with other people from different places, from different status, financial situations, and so on. And it's really easy to interact because you just have to go to a rate and see, okay, there are like 20 or 50-ish people, and then you can just talk to them and say, hey, you're playing Pokemon? Yes, we are doing. What's one thing is people are willing to share their private thing more than in Japan. This is for sure. They're not that, yeah. But the other thing is more like, really, for me, mentally, Germany is more harsh than Japan. Why? Because as a foreigner in Japan, everyone says, okay, so you're a foreigner, you get like a little bit handy. Uh, yeah, it's a little bit, they make it easier for you because they understand that you are from another country. And it's really beneficial here in Germany because you have the German citizenship. Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know, but all the time I interact with people, I can't see really this passion like Japanese people have. I can't see this passion, nor I can't see this passion for the work. Okay, maybe in Japan also not some passion has to work, but it's so different. It's so different. It's like not just a country, it's just another planet for me. And like Germany makes really serious stuff of all the small things which you don't have to take serious. Okay, another stuff. Japan is more like in detail, but I love more the things in detail than make serious of all the stuff which is really unnecessary to make it serious. And this overwhelming curiosity makes really people kind of block in there what to do. Really stops the passion because I can't see so many passionate people. So many people just really work their 9 to 5, and we are lucky just to sip a beer after work, which is really common. But I mean, okay, Germany used to also do sports, a lot of sports, but I don't know. It's just a vibe. For me, it's really the vibe. I don't like the German vibe. I like the German vibe when I'm not in in this town, maybe. Yeah, yeah. And sometimes, like when I was, let me say, in some towns, I like the vibe. Okay, like say now Münster. I live in Münster. Münster, I don't like really the vibe. Like Cologne, I like the vibe of Cologne, and but Berlin, I don't like the vibe of Berlin. In Tokyo, I love the vibe of Tokyo. The same as Osaka and Kyoto. I love this. I love really Kyoto and Osaka. But really, because I have so many friends in Tokyo, I love really Tokyo. However, I really also like the Kansai band, where it's a dialect which is spoken in Osaka and Kyoto. I kind of also try to, yeah, implement Kansai band in my speech, like "say anen" and "nande anen" and stuff like that. But yeah, Japanese is really a big part of my life, and Japan, and I can't really release it. Like say, okay, I have to focus on something else. Yeah, I want to focus on something else. I want to focus actually to help people. I want to focus on helping people for sure, and I want to focus on helping people, for starting to helping people with my courses, and then actually also apply it on Japanese students because I have seen Japanese students are unorientated, and this is also like the thing what I want to contribute in Japan when I'm back there. But Germany is so skeptical to everything. It's so hard, really. Yeah. I don't know. So many people say it's really easy to live in Germany. Yes, because you don't have to work, another thing. But mentally, for me, it's kind of destruction. I really feel of just when I went out. When I go out, okay, yeah, man. When I'm outside, it's okay. But when I just enter the facility or speak to someone like a teacher or something like that, really, I just feel so drained in this society. And I don't know why. I don't even why. I feel so drained in German society. For me, it's for sure going to Germany is a step back. But as I learned, I have to use it as a trampoline to jump even higher. And this is what I'm actually trying to do right now. Yeah, I appreciate if you watched so far. And I was kind of vulnerable today. Um, Maybe not 100%, but at least 90. Yeah, I really want to go back to Japan for sure. With this further said, I hope you enjoyed my stream. And yeah, don't forget to take action every day, all day. Follow your why. No, not really distinguish your why. Just follow it. And as always, do not lie to yourself and pursue your passion now.